Hey guys, happy October. We are getting into the second half of October. It's crazy. I can't believe it. It's Halloween time already, carving pumpkins with my girls this weekend. And I wanted to let you guys know I do have a deal going on where I'm offering 25% off my watch list monthly, quarterly, biannual, or annual subscription for 25% off if you use Spooky. So I absolutely love this watch list. I do generate it every single day. I use Trade Ideas to generate the stocks that I'm watching, and then I use TradingView to go ahead and pick out my levels that I'm looking for, bullish above, bearish below. I also have the short volume on there for those potential longs. So check it out. I mean, it's less than $1 a day, and you could be making hundreds off of it if you had these stocks at your fingertips. So check it out. Worth it to try it, right? Then this week I am traveling to California. On Thursday, we'll be heading to Sagebrush Cantina, doing a traders meetup. So I also have that link below. Just sign up so I know how many people. I'm going to cut it off on Tuesday night. That is when I'm going to be leaving out of town. So I don't want to have to worry about reservations or anything like that. So check it out, sign up. It's free if you want to come, hang out, have a margarita, maybe some tacos, chill and have a great time. And then on the weekend, I will be down in San Diego at the Trade Ideas Summit. They do have a handful of seats left, so you can sign up if you'd like to go in person, or you can also sign up for the free live stream. All the links are down below if you guys have any interest in that. And let's go ahead and get into the watch list. As always, guys, I did have my Series 7 back in 2001. However, it is not current. So please keep that in mind, that you do need to trade with proper risk management. You do need to trade with your own due diligence, and you want to make sure that you know that there are no results that are guaranteed in the market, and trading any sort of securities does offer varying degrees of risk. All right. All that said, I'm also messing around with checking out gray candlesticks. I was on the Investor Expos on Thursday, and TJ Watkins was on there. TG Watkins was on there. He was talking about, yeah, I don't really care whether a candlestick is red or green. And I was like, you know what? That's so true. I don't really care where it is. I want to see where it is in relation to the averages and what's going on. So I'm trying this out to see graying it out if that works for me, because I don't want to psych myself out in my brain, right? I just want to see where the price is. I don't want to get psyched out about what's going on. So if we look at the SPY, we'll get into our analysis here. So we have the SPY. It did hit this trend line, which is from the weekly chart. I can put that up so you guys can see that really quickly, how I drew it. So I drew it from back here, the high of April 22nd, and then the high of September 3rd. And if you look at it on the daily, we just hit it this week once, pulled back twice, could not break it, and then pulled back further. We are touching the 4 EMA, right? So it closed just above it. So that's interesting because we still are in this upward trend, and not sure where we will go from here. So if we can hold this, we would look for another test of this trend line, potentially on up to even test up here. So testing that out, and then going down further, looking to test the 21 EMA if we do break the averages going down. Going on to NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, same scenario. We have a weekly trend line here. We did break above it this week, and we held up, tested this trend line here, and pulled back. And we're still holding at that trend line from the weekly chart. We are between the 4 and the 8 EMA. We tested below the 8, but bounced a little bit. We did have a little bit higher than normal volume on Friday. I'm sure Netflix had a bit to do with that, right? We will be covering Netflix today. So the Russell, right? We are starting to see that we're about to curl up above all the averages here. So our 4 did cross the 8 back on October 14th. We did break these two trend lines here. It broke from this trend line, and look, bigger than normal volume back here. And it's held above and just riding the averages up. You know, we would look more for a break of this 153.54 area, in my opinion. It tested it on Thursday, tested it on Fridays. The sellers took it down a bit, but we had more buyers than sellers on Friday, judging by the candlestick. So looking to see if we can continue the upward trend, right? Yes, we haven't hit the new highs up here, but we are in an upward trend. It could have just been a pullback. They bought in down here. You know, were lower lows back here, but now we're setting higher lows. So looking for that to hold true and potentially break out up here. But we do want to see a break above 153.50. All right, getting into the potential longs. Say potential because, of course, it could go either way. It depends on where the market is going to take it. So Alcoa had earnings on, that would be Wednesday. Wednesday, earnings announcement. Thursday, run up, hit a new high up here, and then, or new high, excuse me, not a new high, but a high for the week, right? And then we're continuing on up. So on our 15-minute chart, looking for 21.44 for support, 21.64 for resistance, looking to see if it can break out. We did have higher than normal volume at the end of the day there as well. So looking at that, and on the yearly chart, we are testing right here, testing the 50 simple moving average. So if we can break above that, looking for it to come up here and test the 161 EMA, 23.38. So keeping that one on watch, as we have had the first day of earnings, 1-2 days. This could be another breakup, or we might find a bit of a sell-off there. We had higher than normal volume here, a little bit lower here. So that momentum might be stalled at the present time. Going on, Alcoa does have 184 million, and it was 44% short float volume on Friday. Next, potential long, KSU. Let's just go ahead and get rid of these. So we had a nice gap up on earnings, closed close to the high of the day. Looking at it on the candlestick, nice run up, had a test of this resistance here, and then resistance test, it broke. I actually have the colors reversed. So looking for a support of 144.18 and resistance break of 145.82. When we look at back on the yearly chart, we are hitting a new 52-week high. If we go back, we are hitting a new all-time high for KSU. So looking for that to continue. We've had a break back here earlier in the year of 123.59, and now looking for that to continue on up. KSU does have 99.3 million in the float, and it was 40% short float volume on Friday. Next, potential long, STT. Let's just remove these. I love TradingView, it makes it so easy. All right, so STT, looking at the daily, we did break almost, like a W, right? Right here, and now we're breaking out from that. We did have earnings, so that would be the first day. Potential 2 days to run up from there. Just nice upward trend following the averages up all day. I would look for support of 63.15 and resistance of 63.77. We are not at the all-time high. However, we do have earnings. So I would look for a nice potential test of 65 area before we might see resistance again, because that looks like it was a support in the past, 64.75 right there, if you can see that over here. All right, next potential long, Western Alliance Bancorp. So the banks really reported this week as well. We've got earnings here on Thursday. Friday had higher than expected earnings, higher than expected volume, massive run up, down, and I would look for support of 47.93, resistance of 48.40, and Western Alliance had 95 million in the float and 26% short float volume on Friday. I would look also, STT has 370 million in the float and 41% short float volume. All of the stats you can find on my Pinterest, on my Instagram as well as Twitter. I do have a chart of all of these on the watch list. So I would look for, secondary test up here of the 49.50 area if we can break that 48.40. Next potential long, same scenario. Had earnings on Thursday, massive run up, probably some shorts got squeezed. It does have 38.6 million in the float. So that happened in the first 15 minutes, then it pulled back down to reality and somewhat uptrended and pulled back a little bit on Thursday at close, but then we continued up. We didn't set a new high on Friday, so I would really look for that break of 218 and a support of 214.62. If we do break that 218, first resistance test to me, potentially that 220 area right here, then 221 50, and then on up to 228.19. As I said, it does have 38.6 million in the volume, and it was 48% short volume on Friday. Getting into the potential shorts for the week. Manpower. So Manpower had earnings, spiked up, but it couldn't hold that high. It did curl down on the averages on Friday. So looking for support of 86.43 and resistance of 88.66. It does have 95.4 million in the float. Next potential short, Honeywell. Honeywell had a good earnings reaction on Thursday. However, on Friday, it did not hold. So I would look for support of 162.50 area to be tested and further broken down. Resistance of 165.97. And this does have 716 million in the float. Next potential short, Netflix. Great, looks like it was great for Netflix. Awesome. I know some people are like, Jane, yes, I had calls on Netflix. I gambled into earnings. Can't wait. And then boom, it was a gap and crap on Thursday, I should say. This is also one of my watch lists as well. If you guys get my watch list, you would have been prepped if it went down. I had the level ready for everyone to capture it on the downside. A great one. So it came down, test the 200 simple on the 15-minute, bounced up to the 21 EMA, and now it's just following that 21 EMA all the way down. So watching to see if it can hold support of 273.86. It has once, twice, 3 times test here. So we'll see if that does hold into the week. 277.85 for resistance in going to potential long on it. So we do have it breaking below the averages. The averages are curling down. We don't have the 4 below the 8 as of just yet. And Netflix does have 426 million in the float. Next potential short is PGR, Progressive Corp from Ohio. So you can see we had earnings, and then it came up, tested the averages, and pulled back down. So looking for support to break down. It did close at the end of the day, 70.20 or resistance of 70.62. On our 15-minute chart, you can see exactly that. It came down, bounced up, and then it pulled back. PGR does have 582 million in the float. Final one for potential shorts, Union Pacific. So we had this nice run up going into earnings, volatility right before the earnings announcement, run up, test of 166. Coincidence? Happens to be right where it tested post-market on Wednesday and pre-market on Thursday. Had the announcements on Thursday and then pulled back. So looking for support to be tested of 160 to the downside and resistance of 161.71. It did close up. It's hanging up above there, after hours. So actually, I might actually go ahead and move that up just a little bit to 162. So 160, 162. Union Pacific does have 703 million. You can also tell this acted as a prior resistance in the past, right here, and then it acted as resistance here. So could be that third test to the upside or down, but keep it on watch. Looks like potential consolidation here, a shoulder, a head, a potential shoulder, back down to the downside. If we look at it on the yearly, you can see that it's been trending down. We do have our averages curling down, a little blip here off of the 425 EMA right there. So keep it on watch. And final one for potential longer term swings, we have IPR here. So if we do look at it on our weekly chart, we've got a nice little trend, right? Where it's coming along here. Right there. Every time it spiked, it sold off. Let me pull it back to the daily here for us. So every time it sold off, right, we had a spike, came down, tested this right here, tested it, couldn't close above it. So keeping this on watch to see it's in this consolidation area here, another massive spike that happened on the 16th. We are having higher than expected volume. It did have a split back here, 1 for 10. So keeping it on watch to see if it can break this trend line here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and set an alert right on the trend line so that if it does cross above the trend line, I will get that alert right on my app. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Put it in the comments below. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in LA at the Sagegrass Cantina, or in San Diego at the summit, or online if you guys can't make it in person. Sign up for the free streaming and go ahead and watch it. They will shoot you out the link if you're not able to watch all of it next Saturday. Have a great week ahead. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys. Bye.